Trust is a fragile aspect of human relationships, and when someone breaks our trust, it can be a deeply painful experience in Buddhism. The spiritual teachings provide guidance on how to navigate the challenges that arise when trust is shattered. This video explores the profound wisdom of Buddhism to inspire and motivate individuals to understand if someone breaks your trust, what you have to do. By delving into the teachings, we can learn valuable lessons that will empower us to heal, grow, and find peace within ourselves. Lesson 1. Take time to process your emotions before reacting when trust is broken. It is natural to experience a surge of emotions, such as anger, sadness, or betrayal. Buddhism teaches us the importance of mindfulness and self-awareness before reacting impulsively. Take a step back and allow yourself time to process these emotions through meditation and introspect action. You can gain clarity and cultivate a calm state of mind. When we experience a breach of trust, our emotions can be intense and overwhelming. It is essential to take the time to process these emotions before reacting. Buddhism teaches us that emotions are not inherently negative, but are a natural part of the human experience. By acknowledging and accepting our feelings, we can cultivate self-awareness and mindfulness. Taking time to process our emotions allows us to gain perspective and clarity. It enables us to approach the situation with a calm and rational mindset rather than reacting impulsively out of anger or hurt. Through meditation, journaling, or seeking support from a therapist, we can learn to manage our emotions in a healthy way. In Buddhism, the practice of mindfulness is a powerful tool for managing our emotions. Mindfulness involves paying attention to the present moment without judgment or distraction. By focusing on our breath or body sensations, we can bring ourselves back to the present moment and cultivate a sense of inner peace. This practice can help us to detach from our emotions and observe them objectively, allowing us to respond in a more constructive way. Taking time to process our emotions before reacting is a crucial step in the healing process. When trust is broken, by cultivating mindfulness and self-awareness, we can learn to manage our emotions in a healthy way and approach the situation with clarity and perspective. This practice allows us to respond in a constructive manner rather than reacting impulsively out of anger or hurt. Lesson 2. Communicate with the person who broke your trust. While it may seem challenging, open and honest communication is essential in the healing process. Buddhism emphasizes compassionate dialogue as a means of resolving conflicts. Express your feelings and concerns to the person who broke your trust, allowing them an opportunity to understand the impact of their actions through this exchange. Both parties can work towards reconciliation. Effective communication is key when trust has been broken. Buddhism teaches us the value of compassionate dialogue and understanding in resolving conflicts and repairing relationships by engaging in open and honest communication with the person who broke our trust. We create an opportunity for healing and growth when initiating a conversation. It is important to approach it with a mindset of compassion and non-judgment. Choose a suitable time and place where both parties can feel comfortable and safe to express themselves. Begin by expressing your feelings and concerns calmly and clearly, using I statements to avoid sounding accusatory. This helps to foster a non-confrontational atmosphere and encourages the other person to listen openly. Active listening is a fundamental aspect of effective communication. Buddhism teaches us to be fully present and attentive when engaging in conversations. This means giving the person your undivided attention, maintaining eye contact, and genuinely seeking to understand their perspective. Avoid interrupting or formulating responses in your mind while the other person is speaking. Instead, focus on truly listening and empathizing with their emotions and experiences during the conversation. it is essential to express your needs and expectations, moving forward clearly, communicate what actions or changes would help rebuild trust. Be open to hearing their perspective as well as it. Fosters mutual understanding that allows for a more balanced dialogue in Buddhism. Forgiveness is often emphasized as a means of healing and letting go of resentment. However, forgiveness should not be rushed or forced. It is a personal journey that requires time and reflection. Communicate honestly with yourself about your willingness to forgive and move forward. If forgiveness feels unattainable at the moment, it is important to honor your own emotions and boundaries. Communication plays a pivotal role in repairing trust when it has been broken by engaging in compassionate dialogue with the person who broke our trust. We create an opportunity for
understanding growth and potential reconciliation through active listening, expressing our needs and being open to their perspective. We can foster a healthy and constructive conversation. Remember that forgiveness is a personal process that may take time, and it is essential to honor your own emotions and boundaries along the way. 3 set boundaries to protect yourself from further harm in Buddhism. Self-care and self-preservation are vital aspects of personal growth. When trust is broken, it is crucial to establish clear boundaries to safeguard yourself from further harm by defining what is acceptable and unacceptable. Behavior, you create a safe space for healing and rebuilding trust. When trust is broken, it can be challenging to rebuild. In some cases, it may not be possible to restore the relationship to its previous state. In such situations, it is important to set boundaries to protect yourself from further harm. Buddhism teaches us the importance of self-care and self-preservation in personal growth. Set boundaries involves defining what is acceptable and unacceptable behavior from the person who broke our trust. This allows us to create a safe space for healing and rebuilding trust. It is important to clearly communicate these boundaries to the other person, so they are aware of what is expected of them. This can help to avoid misunderstandings, and further harm. Boundaries can come in different forms depending on the situation. For example, if your partner cheated on you, you may need to set boundaries around communication with other people or establish guidelines for rebuilding trust. If a friend betrayed your confidence, you may need to set boundaries around what information you share with them. Moving forward in setting boundaries, it is important to be firm and consistent. This sends a clear message that you value yourself and your well-being. However, it is equally important to be flexible and willing to adjust boundaries as needed. As trust is rebuilt, you may find that some boundaries become unnecessary or can be relaxed. Setting boundaries is an essential aspect of protecting yourself from further harm when trust has been broken by defining what is acceptable and unacceptable. Behavior, you create a safe space for healing and rebuilding. Trust, remember to communicate these boundaries clearly and consistently while remaining flexible and open to adjustment as trust is rebuilt. 4. Consider whether the person is willing to make amends in
the teachings of Buddhism. Forgiveness is a powerful virtue. However, it is equally important to discern whether the person who broke your trust is genuinely remorseful and willing to make amends. Evaluate their actions, sincerity, and commitment to change. Forgiveness should not be granted blindly, but earned through genuine efforts towards reconciliation. When trust is broken, it is important to consider whether the person who broke your trust is genuinely willing to make amends. In Buddhism, the concept of accountability and taking responsibility for one's actions is emphasized. Evaluating the other person's willingness to make amends can help guide your decision-making process and determine the potential for rebuilding trust. To assess whether someone is willing to make amends, observe their actions and behavior. Are they expressing genuine remorse for their actions? Do they take responsibility for the consequences of their behavior? Are they making efforts to rectify the harm caused? These are important indicators of their willingness to make amends. It is crucial to have open and honest conversations with the person who broke your trust to understand their perspective, express your feelings and concerns, and listen attentively to their responses. Pay attention to their level of sincerity, empathy, and commitment to change, genuine remorse, and a willingness to make amends. Often manifest through sincere apologies, efforts to understand your perspective, and a commitment to personal growth. Forgiveness is considered a virtue, but it should not be granted blindly or prematurely. Forgiveness is a personal journey that requires careful consideration. It is important to honor your own emotions and boundaries throughout this process. If the person demonstrates genuine remorse and a commitment to change, forgiveness and rebuilding trust may be possible. However, if they show a lack of accountability or an unwillingness to make amends, it may be necessary to reassess the viability of the relationship. Remember that forgiveness does not mean forgetting or condoning the actions that cause the harm. It means releasing the negative emotions associated with the betrayal and allowing yourself to heal. Forgiveness is a gradual process that requires time, self-reflection, and understanding. Considering whether the person who broke your trust is willing to make amends is an important step in rebuilding trust. Assess their actions, behavior, and level of accountability. Engage in open and honest conversations to understand their perspective and evaluate their sincerity. Remember that forgiveness is a personal journey that requires careful consideration and should be guided by your own emotions and boundaries. 5. Be honest with yourself about whether you are willing to forgive and move forward. Forgiveness is a personal journey, and it is essential to be honest with yourself about your readiness to forgive. Buddhism teaches us that forgiveness is not about condoning or forgetting the actions that cause the harm, but releasing the burden of resentment from our hearts. Reflect on your own capacity for forgiveness and make a decision that aligns with your well-being. When trust is broken, it is essential to be honest with yourself about whether you are willing to forgive and move forward. Buddhism teaches us the importance of self-reflection and understanding our own emotions and boundaries. Making a decision about forgiveness requires careful consideration and self-awareness. Take the time to reflect on your feelings and emotions. Surrounding the betrayal, are you able to let go of the resentment and anger? Can you envision a future where trust can be rebuilt? It is crucial to acknowledge and honor your own emotions throughout this process. Consider whether forgiveness aligns with your personal values and beliefs. Buddhism emphasizes compassion and the release of negative emotions, but forgiveness should not be forced or rushed. It is a personal journey that requires genuine willingness and readiness. Reflect on the impact of holding on to grudges and resentment. Holding on to negative emotions can hinder your own growth and well-being. Forgiveness, when genuinely felt, can bring a sense of liberation and inner peace. However, it is important to note that forgiveness does not necessarily mean re-establishing the same level of trust or continuing the same relationship. If you find that forgiveness feels unattainable at the moment, it is important to honor your own boundaries and emotions. Communicate your needs and limitations to the person who broke your trust. It may be necessary to create distance or redefine the nature of the relationship in order to protect your own well-being. Remember that forgiveness is a personal journey, and there is no right or wrong timeline for it. It may take time and self-reflection to reach a place of forgiveness. If at all, trust your own intuition and be patient with yourself as you navigate through this process. Being honest with yourself about whether you are willing to forgive and move forward is a crucial step in the healing process. take the time to reflect on your emotions, values, and beliefs. Consider the impact of holding on to negative emotions and whether forgiveness aligns with your personal growth and well-being. Remember that forgiveness is a personal journey that should be guided by your own boundaries and readiness. 6. Seek support from friends or a therapist during times of emotional turmoil. Seeking support from trusted friends or a therapist can be immensely beneficial. Buddhism encourages connection and community as sources of strength and guidance. Engaging in open conversations with others who have experienced similar situations can provide comfort, perspective, and valuable insights. Seeking support from friends or a therapist can be immensely helpful when trust has been broken. Buddhism teaches us the value of community and connection in times of difficulty by reaching out to trusted individuals or seeking professional guidance. You can gain perspective, find solace, and receive valuable support. Friends and loved ones can provide a listening ear, empathy, and a sense of validation. Sharing your thoughts and emotions with someone you trust can help alleviate the burden you may be carrying. They can offer different perspectives, provide guidance, and offer comfort. During this challenging time, surrounding yourself with a supportive network can remind you that you are not alone in your journey. In addition to friends and family, seeking the assistance of a therapist or counselor can be beneficial. A therapist can provide a safe and non-judgmental space for you to explore your emotions, process the betrayal, and navigate the path to healing. They can offer guidance, tools, and techniques to help you cope with the emotional impact of the broken trust. Therapy can also provide an opportunity for personal growth and self-discovery when seeking support. It is important to choose individuals who are trustworthy, non-biased, and able to provide the support you need. Be open and honest about your feelings and experiences, allowing yourself to be vulnerable in order to receive the support you deserve. Seeking support from friends or a therapist is a valuable step in the healing process. When trust has been broken, friends and loved ones can offer empathy, validation, and different perspectives. A therapist can provide a safe space for exploration, guidance, and personal growth. Remember that reaching out for support is a sign of strength, and it can greatly assist you in navigating through the challenges of rebuilding trust. 7. Take responsibility for your own actions and reactions. Buddhism emphasizes personal accountability for our thoughts, words, and deeds. Even in situations where trust has been broken, it is crucial to examine our own role and the circumstances leading up to it. Taking responsibility for our actions and reactions allows us to grow spiritually and learn from our experiences. When trust is broken, it is important to take responsibility for your own actions and reactions in Buddhism. The concept of personal responsibility and accountability is emphasized by taking ownership of your own emotions and behaviors. You can empower yourself to move forward and facilitate the healing process. Reflect on your own actions and reactions in response to the broken trust. Did you react in a way that aligns with your personal values and beliefs? Did you engage in behaviors that may have contributed to the situation? Taking responsibility for your own role in the situation can help you gain clarity and avoid repeating patterns that may have contributed to the betrayal. Taking responsibility for your own emotions can help you regain a sense of control. Acknowledge and validate your emotions, but avoid allowing them to control your actions. Mindfulness techniques such as meditation and deep breathing can be helpful in managing intense emotions and promoting a sense of calm. Remember that taking responsibility does not mean taking on blame or guilt for the actions of others. It means acknowledging your own role in the situation and taking steps to move forward in a healthy and constructive manner. 8. Avoid seeking revenge or engaging in negative behavior when trust is broken. It is crucial to avoid seeking revenge or engaging in negative behavior. Buddhism teaches us the importance of compassion, non-harming, and the cultivation of positive actions. By refraining from revenge and negative behavior, you can promote healing, maintain your own integrity, and create a healthier path forward. Seeking revenge or engaging in negative behavior may provide temporary satisfaction, but it ultimately prolongs the cycle of harm and prevents true healing. It can perpetuate a cycle of negativity and hinder your own personal growth. Instead, focus on promoting positive actions and cultivating a sense of inner peace. Practice forgiveness, even if it does not mean forgetting or condoning the actions that caused the betrayal. Forgiveness allows you to release the burden of anger and resentment, freeing yourself from the negative emotions that can hold you back. This does not mean that you have to trust the person again or continue the same relationship, but rather that you choose to let go of the desire for revenge and move towards a place of healing. Redirect your energy towards self-care, personal growth, and positive AC actions. Engage in activities that bring you joy, nurture your well-being, and foster personal development. This can include practicing mindfulness, engaging in hobbies, seeking new experiences, or connecting with supportive communities. If you find it challenging to let go of negative emotions or refrain from seeking revenge, seek support from friends, loved ones, or a therapist. They can provide guidance, perspective, and help you navigate through these difficult emotions. Avoiding seeking revenge or engaging in negative behavior is essential for promoting healing and personal growth. When trust has been broken, choose forgiveness as a path towards releasing negative emotions and cultivating inner peace. Redirect your energy towards self-care and positive actions that nurture your well-being. Seek support if needed. To navigate through challenging emotions, remember that by choosing non-harming and compassion, you create a healthier path forward for yourself. 9. Practice self-care to manage stress and anxiety. The teachings of Buddhism emphasize the importance of self-care as a means of mirroring our well-being. When trust is broken, it can lead to stress and anxiety. Engage in activities that promote relaxation, such as meditation, yoga, or spending time in nature. Prioritize self-care practices that replenish your energy and bring peace to your mind. When trust is broken, it can cause significant stress and anxiety. Practicing self-care is crucial for managing these emotions and promoting healing in Buddhism. The concept of self-care is emphasized as a means to cultivate inner peace and well-being. Self-care can take many forms depending on your individual needs and preferences. It can include physical practices such as exercise, yoga, or massage, which promote relaxation and reduce stress. It can also include mental practices such as mindfulness, meditation, journaling, or therapy, which promote emotional regulation and self-awareness. Self-care also includes nurturing your social connections and engaging in activities that bring you joy and fulfillment. Spending time with loved ones, pursuing hobbies, or engaging in creative pursuits can provide a sense of purpose and meaning. Remember that self-care is not a selfish act, but rather a necessary step towards promoting your own well-being. By taking care of yourself, you are better equipped to navigate through the challenges of rebuilding trust and moving forward. Practicing self-care is an essential step towards managing stress and anxiety. When trust has been broken, prioritize physical and mental practices that promote relaxation and emotional regulation. Nurture your social connections and engage in activities that bring you joy and fulfillment. Remember that self-care is not selfish, but rather a necessary step towards promoting your own well-being. 10. Remember that healing takes time. Healing from broken trust is a gradual process that requires patience and self-compassion. In Buddhism, impermanence is a fundamental truth of existence. Recognize that wounds take time to heal and progress, may not always be linear. Embrace the journey with kindness towards yourself and others involved when trust is broken. It is important to remember that healing takes time in Buddhism. Patience is emphasized as a virtue, and this applies to the healing process as well. Rebuilding trust and recovering from the emotional impact of betrayal is not an overnight process. Give yourself permission to take the time you need to heal. Recognize that healing is a personal journey, and it may unfold at its own pace. Avoid putting pressure on yourself to rush the process or meet specific timelines. Each individual in situ situation is unique, and the healing process can vary accordingly during this time. Be gentle and compassionate with yourself. Allow yourself to experience a range of emotions without judgment. Understand that healing is not a linear path, and there may be ups and downs along the way. It is normal to have good days and difficult days, and it is important to practice self-compassion during these moments. Seek support from trusted individuals or professionals who can provide guidance and understanding throughout the healing process. Surround yourself with a supportive network that can offer encouragement and empathy. Remember that healing does not necessarily mean going back to how things were before the betrayal. It may involve creating new boundaries, redefining relationships, or even letting go of certain connections. Trust your own intuition and take the necessary steps towards your own well-being. It is your well-being. Remember that healing is a personal journey, and it unfolds at its own pace. The spiritual teachings of Buddhism offer profound insights into navigating the challenges that arise when trust is broken. By implementing these teachings in our lives, we can find solace, healing, and growth in the face of betrayal. Remember to take time for self-reflection. Practice open communication. Set boundaries. Evaluate willingness for reconciliation. And prioritize self-care. Through these practices, we can cultivate forgiveness, compassion, and ultimately find peace within.